Hi, I'm Melody from New York. Please like and subscribe. I lived with my amazing single mom, who had a tough time raising me on her own. As I grew older, I was determined to work hard and give her a good life one day. I got into a great high school on full scholarship and helped her out by waitressing on weekends. One evening, I was dashing like crazy at the subway station. I was so late for my shift. Suddenly, I bumped straight into someone, but I just shouted an apology and ran off to my train. Just as I was about to get on, someone gently took my hand. I turned around to see the most gorgeous boy ever.
Hey, you dropped this!
He placed something in my hand and I gasped. It was my bracelet. Thank you so much. I would have been devastated if I had lost this. I'm so glad I found you. No, you found me. I mean the bracelet. His smile went all the way up to his warm brown eyes.
You're welcome. Do you think we could maybe?
Just then, the door started closing and I shouted, "Sorry, gotta go!" As the train pulled away, I felt like such an idiot. I didn't even ask for his name. For the next couple of months, I kept hoping I'd bump into him on the way to work, but no such luck. Summer break was over, and I was really looking forward to seeing my best friend, Stella, who'd been away on vacation. We hugged excitedly, and she put her arm through mine as we walked to class.
There's so much I have to tell you. But first, did you ever find the train guy again?
No, it sounds stupid, Stella, but we had an instant connection. He almost asked me out, and now he just disappeared.
Melody, we'll hunt the whole city down till we find him. Now come on, let me introduce you to my new boyfriend, Levi.
She walked up to a tall guy, and when he turned around, my heart almost stopped. It was the freaking train guy. He didn't seem to recognize me as Stella introduced us, telling me how their dads were friends and they'd met on vacation. His family had recently moved to our town, so he'd joined our school. Now, of all the guys in the world, Stella had to meet him. The first class we had that day was English literature, and to my dismay, the teacher chose me and Levi to read out something from Shakespeare. I picked out a scene from Romeo and Juliet, but Levi muttered loudly,
Geez, kill me now.
"What, you don't like it?"
No, it's a story about two people who were so dumb I was happy when they died. It's so lame.
Oh, is that your expert opinion as a world-famous writer?
No, it's my expert opinion as someone with good taste. It's not romantic, it's stupid.
Dying for love is stupid?
The dumbest!
You have the emotional depth of a teaspoon.
At least I have a brain. But fine, you want me to be stupid, Romeo, I'll do it.
No, I don't want to now! I pulled the book away from him as he held on to it tight, and suddenly we both fell down, ripping it in half. Everyone was staring at us, and the teacher told us to go back to our seats. Ugh, this guy was so annoying. It wasn't a great start, but because of Stella, we both made an effort to be nicer. And I wanted to hate him, but I really couldn't. He was smart, funny, sweet. He was kind of perfect for Stella? Of course. Some months later, we had a big calculus assignment to work on. But when I went to the library, only Levi was there. He told me Stella wasn't feeling well, and I sat down awkwardly. As we got busy working, I suddenly noticed Levi looking at my notebook.
You're doing it the wrong way.
My answer's the same as yours.
But why use such a long method when there's a shortcut?
Because shortcuts lead to mistakes. He pulled his chair closer and started scribbling away. I could hardly focus. Gosh, he smelled so good.
There, done.
Okay, you're a genius. I'm calling it a day. I gathered my stuff and started to leave, but he followed me.
Have I offended you? Why does it always seem like you're mad at me?
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I'm not.
Just tell me, Melody. Why are you angry at me?
Suddenly, the words just came spilling out. Because you didn't remember me.
Wait, what?
Nothing. It's nothing. I'll see you around. And with that, I ran off. Why did I have to say such a dumb thing? A few weeks later, we had the spring dance at school, and I accepted when a boy from class, Eric, asked me to go with him. I was actually having a pretty good time. And when I stopped to rest, Stella and Levi joined me.
That Eric seems like great boyfriend material, Melody.
Yeah, I guess he's nice.
But you're still hoping to find the train guy, right?
Oh my god, Stella, please, shut up.
Train guy?
Oh yeah, babe. This guy found Melody's bracelet at the train station, and they had this, electric romantic moment. But Melody laughed and never saw him again. She even tried looking for him, but nothing.
I just wanted to magically disappear from the most humiliating moment of my life. Eric came just then and whisked me off to the dance floor. The next day, I was just really distracted at work. I broke 2 glasses, knocked over a jug of water, and then I bumped into a waiter, sending food flying everywhere. I was pretty sure I'd be fired, but that night got even worse when I suddenly noticed my bracelet was gone. I broke down into tears, and the staff helped me look all around the kitchen. The manager even let me stay back and search the restaurant once the customers were gone, but I didn't find it anywhere. Feeling crushed, I finally left and walked straight into someone outside.
Hey, what's wrong?
My bracelet, it's gone! It's the last birthday gift my dad gave me! Levi pulled me into a hug and I buried my face in his shoulder. A minute later, he spoke.
A Melody? You mean this bracelet?
I stepped back to see him taking off the bracelet stuck to my coat. Gosh, I feel so stupid. Thank you, once again. And suddenly last evening came rushing back to me. Listen, I did tell Stella I met some guy, and I thought maybe we had something, but I was wrong. I've only ever thought of you as a friend since we met in school, and I don't like you that way, okay?
Well, that's disappointing.
Wait, what?
I would have looked for you myself, but I left town the next day. And when I saw you in school, I did remember you. Melody, I didn't say anything because what was the point? I'm with Stella, and I've tried so hard not to like you that way either, but it's not working.
He pulled me closer, and my heart was pounding. He leaned in to kiss me, but I snapped back to my senses. No, I can't do this to Stella! Please don't follow me! And with that, I ran. How could I even come this close? I really wasn't looking forward to seeing Levi in school, but I found his seat empty. Stella told me his dad was unwell, and Levi had to go back to his hometown to take care of business. I thought he'd be back soon. But days turned into weeks and then months. The school year ended, and one day during summer break, Stella called me to tell me she and Levi had broken up. What? Why?
The long-distance relationship made us realize we weren't that good together. I'm sure we can still be good friends, but that's all we'll be now.
I hardly knew what to say. I wanted to call him and ask him how he was doing, but I decided against it. A few weeks later at the restaurant, I walked over to a table to take someone's order, and I nearly fell back when I saw Levi sitting there. Levi, you're back. It's been so long.
Well, I'm here now. I guess you heard about me and Stella.
Yeah, sorry it didn't work out.
It was the right thing for both of us. Melody, do you think that maybe...
Just then, Eric walked in and kissed me on the cheek.
Babe, is your shift almost over? Oh, hey man, you're back.
Levi tried to hide his shock as he realized I was dating Eric now. He'd asked me out a week after the dance. Suddenly, he got up to leave.
I just remembered something important. I'll see you guys in school.
Gosh, we really had the worst timing. Some weeks later, on my 16th birthday, Eric turned up in a limo to take me to dinner. But when we got to this fancy restaurant, I was shocked to see my entire class there. It looked like he booked the whole place. But to top that, Eric jumped onto a chair, suddenly holding a mic.
Happy birthday to the most amazing girl. To show you how much you mean to me, I'm gonna embarrass myself now with this song I wrote for you.
He started singing and I couldn't stop laughing. He was ridiculous. Just then, the mic suddenly died, and everyone heard Levi saying,
What a loser.
There was a pin-drop silence as everyone turned to him, and Eric was furious.
Dude, is there a problem?
Yeah, just one thing. I don't understand what Melody sees in you.
God, he was so rude! Before I could tell him off, Eric leapt forward and grabbed him by his collar. Levi pushed him back, and he ended up falling in the cake. He attacked Levi again, and they both went crashing into another table. Oh my God, stop it! Levi, what's wrong with you? I pulled him outside.
Your boyfriend attacked me first.
You deserved it. What's your problem with Eric?
He's so annoying and lame, but I guess you like that he's your Romeo.
I like him because he's sweet and caring.
And really rich.
I suddenly slapped him hard. Did you just call me a gold digger? Gosh, you're being such a jerk!
Wait, no, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that, and I don't hate Eric. I just hate that I missed my chance with you again. I wished every day I followed you on that train and things could be different.
Oh, so what was I in the middle of all this? A mistake?
We turned around in horror to see Stella behind us.
So you did find your train guy, Melody, and all this time we were together, you two were in love. Were you secretly making out?
No, Stella, of course not.
Why should I believe you? You lied to my face for so long.
I tried to stop her from leaving, but she pushed me to the ground.
I'm done with both of you.
She stormed off furiously, and I just went back inside. This was a nightmare. The next few weeks were awful. Stella refused to talk to me. I refused to talk to Levi, and everything was a mess. Then Stella didn't come to school for a couple of days, and I began to feel worried. I finally asked the teacher, and she told me Stella and her sister had been in an accident. Oh my God! I went straight to the hospital and found Stella in the waiting area. I rushed forward and hugged her tight, and she hugged me back.
I'm okay, but my sister's in surgery. I'm just so glad you're here, Melody.
I held her hand through it, and we were so relieved when the doctors told us she was going to be okay. We took a walk outside, and Stella turned to me.
Melody, how could you be so stupid? Why didn't you tell me Levi was the guy?
You would have hated me even if I had Stella. And it doesn't matter now. I'm with Eric.
Just listen to yourself, dummy. You're with Eric, but you're not in love with Eric.
I just ignored her. I wasn't hurting Eric now. I'd messed up things enough. A few weeks later, Eric was having a Christmas party at his place. When I came down all dressed up, Mom said a package had arrived for me. I opened it and gasped. There was a beautiful pair of earrings inside that perfectly matched my bracelet. A note fell out.
This was supposed to be your birthday present. I'm really sorry for everything, Melody. I'm leaving tonight, and I'll be transferring back to my old school. I hope you and Stella patch things up.
Levi. What? I couldn't believe he was leaving for good. I went to the party with a heavy heart, and there I had another surprise waiting. Eric immediately pulled me into a room and popped out a freaking diamond ring. What are you doing?
Melody, let's just get engaged. My family would be so pleased if we announced it tonight. We won't get married right away, of course, but
Eric, please stop! I can't! He looked at me in shock.
because of Levi, isn't it?
Well, yes and no. I don't want to be engaged. I don't want my life planned out for me. You're a great guy, but I'm not ready for this. I'm sorry. He quietly kissed me on the cheek and just left, and I immediately called an Uber to the train station. I looked around frantically for Levi, and just then, I saw him climbing onto the train. As I hopped on after him and took his hand, he turned around in shock.
Melody, what are you doing here?
Taking a train ride with you. Also, I broke up with Eric. We're both single now. So what do you want to do about it? He smiled like the first time I saw him.
Do you think we could maybe get dinner sometime?
Finally, yes! And he pulled me in for a kiss.
I wanna get too close, gonna get it right now. I wanna push all the limits with you right now.
Hi, my name is Serafina. Before we jump into today's story, please like and subscribe to Luna Avatar. My first memory of Mom is her voice singing lullabies to me every night. It was the most beautiful sound in the world. Mainly because the moment she stopped, I'd start screaming again. By the time I was 16 months old, I could hum every lullaby perfectly. My dad, a piano genius, taught me beautiful notes and how to put them together, and I was totally obsessed with it. On Dad's 30th birthday, there was a grand celebration at our mansion. Right after everyone started toasting, I climbed up on a table and began singing the birthday song. Suddenly, the whole room went silent, ready to take in my first performance.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
When I finished, I realized my voice could make a grown man cry.
Oh my god, that's exactly the voice of an angel.
I always had a feeling Serafina was gifted. I'm so proud of you, darling.
Right after that, my parents hired the best musicians in the city to coach me in vocals and music theory. At every party my parents and their friends hosted, they'd invite me to perform, and they even paid me for it. My life was perfect. Until one day, everything changed. When I was in the second grade, my dad had just returned from meeting with some partners overseas. I froze when I saw a little girl with sad eyes, holding a stuffed bunny, step out of the car too. She was trying to hide behind Dad, but he gently pushed her forward.
This is Annabelle, Serafina. She's your sister, and she'll be living with our family now. Will you take care of her?
I looked into her scared, dark eyes and immediately took her hand. Always! But from the moment Annabelle showed up, a dark shadow, like the dress she wore, was cast over our happy home. It started with a huge fight between my parents that evening, and both of us overheard it.
You've broken my heart. She reminds me of my worst nightmare, and I have to see it every day. She can't stay here. I won't raise a child that isn't mine.
She has nowhere to go. Her mother's gone. I know you hate me right now, but please don't take it out on her. She's just a kid.
I didn't want Annabelle to hear this, so I said, "Come on, I'll play something for you. What's your favorite song?" I didn't fully understand what was happening, but one thing was clear. Mom hated Annabelle. She ignored her like there wasn't any child in the house besides me. But my dad and I were different. We adored her. Maybe it was because I could see the sadness and loneliness in my sister's eyes. And we more than made up for Mom's ice-cold attitude. But in the 8th grade, we got news one day that made our whole world come crashing down. Dad had been in a terrible car accident, and he was gone. We were all devastated, but Mom just shut herself up in her room for weeks. One night, while I was reading a Snow White story to Annabelle, Mom suddenly burst into the room and started yelling.
What are you doing in my daughter's room? You're just a poor maid.
Mom, are you okay? She's not a maid, this is Annabelle, remember?
Yes, Annabelle. How could I forget her? Everything got worse when she showed up. No, everything is exactly her fault.
I stared in horror at Mom as Annabelle started to cry.
Pack your things first thing in the morning, Annabelle. Are you planning to sleep with this filthy maid tonight?
What? No, she's not going anywhere. Dad said she's my sister.
Either she goes to the maids or the orphanage. This is her last night here.
As Mom was leaving, she suddenly pounced at Isabel, grabbed her stuffed bunny, and threw it in the fire.
No, my mom made that.
Annabelle cried for hours and I hugged her to sleep. What had happened to my mom? The very next day, Annabelle had to move to the maids' quarters despite my strong protests. She was still allowed to go to school, but she had to do house chores in her free time. I was scared she'd be sent away, so I stopped fighting with Mom, but I'd sneak food to her and help her with her homework at night. At school, we could always hang out together. But one day, I started trembling when I saw my mom show up at school, heading straight to the principal's office. Oh my God! Maybe my worst fear was about to come true. Mom, what are you doing here?
Oh, I'm here to withdraw Annabelle from school, of course.
You can't do that! She has to go to school!
Why? She's never going to be anything but a maid like her stupid mother. Education is a complete waste on someone whose future is just sweeping floors and cleaning rooms.
As she turned around, I grabbed Mom's wrist. If you make her drop out of school, I will too, and I'll tell everyone why. Are you sure you want everyone to know how you really treat Annabelle? Mom, Dad would be so disappointed in you. Mom looked shocked, then angrily pulled her arm away and left I'd won this little battle. But God knows what she'd do next. Things weren't great at home, but at least I had Eric. He was my boyfriend for 2 years and was just crazy about my voice one evening when I was on a date with him. I suddenly started getting calls from Annabelle.
Come home right now, Serafina.
I ran home to a scene of complete chaos. Mom was tearing apart Annabelle's room. What's going on?
Your dad's watch is missing, and I'm going to search all the maids' rooms, and when I find it, I'm kicking out the thief for good.
Just then, a servant came from another room saying it was under Mom's personal maid's bed. Mom looked completely shocked to find out it was her, but she threw her bags out instantly. Some days later, it was Annabelle's 13th birthday, and I snuck into her room with a cake when she blew the candles out. I asked her what she'd wished for.
I wished your mom was dead.
Annabelle, you don't mean that? She's my mom. Annabelle stayed silent, and I got up to leave. I'd never seen that look of hatred on my little sister's face before. In the middle of all this drama, I had a huge audition coming up. A prestigious music academy was looking for talent from different schools, and being selected would be a dream. But 5 days before the audition, I woke up with my throat hurting. I called out to the maid, but to my horror, my voice was gone. Mom rushed me to the doctor who diagnosed me with laryngitis. What he said next left me shocked.
Your voice will return to normal soon, but this is the end of your singing. If you strain your vocal cords too much, you could lose your voice permanently.
I just couldn't believe it. On the day of the auditions, I slipped into the auditorium with Eric, feeling devastated. I wanted to be up on that stage more than anything. And then one of the judges said,
"The last performer is Miss Annabelle."
Wait, what? Annabelle stepped onto the stage and started singing.
Don't know what you wanna achieve, but make a
I was stunned. Her voice was beautiful. The judges gave her a standing ovation and said they'd be in touch with her. Soon as everyone started to leave, I caught up with her. Annabelle, that was amazing. But why didn't you tell me you could ever sing like that? She brushed my arm off angrily, her eyes blazing.
You never asked. You just assumed that you're the only one with any talent. But I guess that's something we both got from our father. It makes you unhappy, doesn't it?
Why would you say that? I've always had your back, Annabelle.
Yet I've been living as a maid in my dad's house for years, and you did nothing. You think sneaking me food makes up for how I'm treated? No, it doesn't. All it does is make you feel good about yourself.
Annabelle, I tried.
Oh, nice try. I hate you, Serafina.
As she stormed off, I felt heartbroken. As Eric walked me back home that evening, suddenly, a skateboarder came charging straight at him. I pushed Eric out of the way just in time, but he landed on the pavement, hitting his head. I quickly called an ambulance, and after hours of waiting at the hospital, we were shocked to get the news Eric was in a coma. The doctors were hopeful he'd wake up soon, but weeks turned into months, and before I knew it, a year had passed. I was almost done with high school, and Annabelle was in her music academy on full scholarship, but we never spoke anymore. One day when I went to see Eric, I was shocked to see him sitting up in bed.
Oh my God, you're awake!
He gently pushed me away.
I'm sorry, who are you?
Eric, it's me, Serafina, your girlfriend!
Can you sing?
Yes, well, I used to. But then I got sick and had to stop, remember?
No! I just know that my girlfriend sings beautifully. I couldn't move or see all these months, but she'd talk and sing to me often, and I could hear her. I know her voice, and it's not you.
Suddenly, my blood ran cold when I heard someone behind me.
Babe, that was me. You could hear me?
Annabelle?
Yes, it's you!
She ran forward and hugged him, and then they kissed. Suddenly, I just lost it. I pulled Annabelle by her hair. Are you completely crazy? You've been visiting my boyfriend and singing to him. Tell him you're lying.
I am not. He's mine. Let me go, witch.
And suddenly she pushed me viciously and I went flying into a trolley. I attacked her and we went crashing straight into the machines. And the next thing we knew, we were both thrown out of the hospital. I turned furiously to Annabelle. We're done for good. You become a hateful monster. I don't even know who you are anymore. But you're definitely not my sister.
Finally!
And with that, she left. I went on a very long walk to clear my head. And by the time I got home, Annabelle was gone. The next morning, Mom discovered a lot of things were gone too, including Dad's watch.
Heck, I'm going to report her to the police. I'm going to.
Mom, just stop it. She's gone. That's what you wanted since you first saw her, right? And so what if she took Dad's stuff? It's hers too. Let it freaking go. A year later, I went off to university to study music. If I couldn't sing anymore, I could still play in my final year. I was leaving the campus one day when I stepped on a newspaper. It had Eric and Annabelle's face on the front page with the headline "Billionaire to tie knot in 2 weeks." Well, good for them. But just a few days later, I walked into a coffee shop. And to my shock, I saw Eric there. And he was kissing a blonde girl. That definitely wasn't Annabelle. I just walked away. It wasn't my problem. But I couldn't stop thinking about it. And when her wedding day arrived, I just could not do anything. Even if she hated me. She was my freaking little sister. And that's how I found myself bursting into the church and running like crazy down the aisle. Hold it! This wedding can't happen! As Annabelle turned to look at me in horror, I ran straight at her and hugged her. I held onto her tight as she squirmed and shrieked.
Oh my god, you psycho! Get off me!
I love you, Annabelle! I'm not going anywhere till you listen to me! As Eric looked super mad and everyone stared at us, she dragged me off to a small room.
What do you think you're doing, Serafina?
Annabelle, you can't marry Eric. He's a cheater. I saw him kissing a girl the other day. I swear I'm not lying.
Think I don't know about that? Well, I do, and it doesn't matter. I stole your man, and hell take care of me. At least I got rid of you and your psycho mom, so just buzz off.
Annabelle, listen to me. You're just angry right now. I'm so sorry about everything. Mom was unbelievably cruel to you, and I should have fought harder. You deserved so much better, and you still do. Don't marry this jerk, please.
Why do you care?
Because you're my little sister and I miss you so much. I had 2 things that I loved the most. My voice and you. I lost my voice for good. And I don't want to lose you too. Please forgive me and come with me.
Oh, Serafina, I'm so sorry for all the horrible things I did to you. I thought I wanted to marry Eric too, tease you. But I now realize that everything I've been doing in my life was to not end up alone. I just wanted to belong to someone.
You belong to me. You're my family. I made a promise to Dad to take care of you. And I will, always. And with that, we hugged each other and walked back to our home. Family always comes first.
Hi, I'm Skylar from Chicago. Please like and subscribe. I think I decided when I was born that I liked my mom way more than my dad. That's probably because she's always saving me from my dad's crazy antics. Mom owned a pet shop in the neighborhood that had been in our family for generations. It was like the ultimate hangout for me and my besties when I was a little kid. Oh, and I've got a twin sister, Ellie, who's super close to Dad, no clue why. If there were an award for the messiest, most irresponsible guy ever, he'd surely win. And I'm totally grossed out by Dad's mess. Daddy, why did you throw your muddy boots on the sofa again?
Are you saying something, honey? I can't hear you.
Maybe you would if you stopped playing the video game.
Shut up, you're so annoying. Can't you let us have some fun, you parrot?
I threw the boot at Ellie when she said that. But I couldn't do the same to Dad because he was my dad. He works part-time as a delivery guy for a pizza place nearby. And when he's not doing that, he does nothing but play video games. And make a mess. But once when I was in 1st grade, he really went too far. He took Ellie and me to the playground. While we were playing on the slide, he went off to play football with some boys. Ellie and I didn't realize how much time had passed until it got dark. We got worried looking for our beloved dad, but we couldn't find him anywhere.
Skylar, Dad ditched us. I don't know the way back home.
I don't either, but it's okay. We have each other. We'll be fine. Then, I suddenly remembered the playground was near Mom's pet shop, and I took Ellie's hand and made my way there. Luckily, we got there just as Mom was closing up the shop to head home. She took us back fuming, and we found Dad on the couch in his muddy, stinky clothes playing games with a VR headset on.
Oh, I thought it was the sound of a monster showing up. Hurry up, ladies. Don't let the big man starve. It's dinner time.
He didn't even realize he'd left us at the playground. A huge fight broke out between them. It was the biggest one ever. And just like the saying goes, no man can ever win an argument with a woman, not even the messiest man alive. So the next day, Dad packed up his bags and left, saying he was moving in with his mom and, well, he never visited or came back. Ellie was super upset, but I was secretly relieved, and Mom seemed happier too. Good riddance. Men were the worst. Growing up, I even avoided talking to boys my age. I was totally convinced they were all just as messy and careless as Dad. Like once in 5th grade, the teacher made a boy sit next to me for a history class activity, and he was a total chatterbox. Worse, he messed up the order of all my markers.
Dude, why didn't we just keep moving on all fours?
Ma'am, where can I find a no-boys class?
It's not possible, Skylar. You'll have to learn to get along with everybody, yes, even the boys.
The boy grinned at me, and I grabbed a marker and crippled all over his face. The teacher called my mom, and I got a bunch of lectures. But nothing could change my mind. Boys were icky, and I hated them. Soon after, I discovered something I was really into, acting. I joined the drama club, and there I found myself fighting for the lead roles every year with a girl named Lily. I mostly beat her to them, and obviously she hated me. By the time we were in high school, all the boys knew I had sent a few chatterbox boys to the hospital, so they started to be scared of me. Lily wouldn't stop annoying me about it.
Who are you going to go to prom with? Your cat. Do you stay away from the boys because you know you're ugly and no one will like you?
Once, I walked into the girls' bathroom at the club while she was washing up and she shrieked.
Oh my god, are you trying to get a peek at me? I know you're into girls, but don't even think about me.
Yikes! No, even if I was into girls, I have good taste, Lily. But she spread rumors around the school that I had been staring at her body and that I might be hiding somewhere in the girls' locker room or bathroom.
Why don't you go and prove her wrong? Go on, just talk to a boy.
I'd rather sprinkle cat litter on broccoli and eat that.
Yuck, you're a savage and so weird.
Yeah, Ellie was nothing like me. She was really popular with the guys, and she was always dating one. And I was always afraid she'd end up choosing someone exactly like Dad. Once she was getting ready to go out with a boy I knew was a jerk. But she wouldn't listen to me, so I had to do something myself that evening. I opened the door when he knocked. So you're Mark? No, wait. She said he's hot. Are you Shane?
No.
He comes on a motorbike every time. You must be the rich donkey she was talking about?
What? She said that. And who are all these guys?
Who knows? Maybe it's those other donkeys. Maybe you should ask Peter. He and Ellie have been pretty tight lately. He got pissed and left, and when Ellie found out, she was furious.
Now you're spoiling my chances too. Okay, what's up with you and boys? Don't you find them cute and fun?
I find them useless and annoying, and I don't know why you're dying to be with one. You're too young anyway. Just stay away from them. But she'd never do that. One evening, I realized that I'd left some important notes in my locker, and I had to go back to school to get them. Just then, I heard a beautiful voice from the boys' locker room. I took a peek through the door and saw someone singing along with his guitar. It was Parker, the quiet millionaire who joined school a week ago and had all the girls drooling. I stood there quietly and continued to listen until he stopped and looked right at me.
So do you like it?
Oh God, he saw me. It didn't make my ears bleed, so I guess it was all right.
You're the famous man-hater, aren't you? I'm flattered to have you as a fan, but I'll have to give you my autograph another time. I don't have a pen right now.
Oh, that's too bad. I want to cry, but I left my hanky at home.
I'd offer you mine, but it's full of boogers. Anyway, what are you doing here so late?
I got bored and decided to find my Prince Charming here at school, and you?
Same reason. I was waiting for someone as pretty as you to secretly listen to me as I sing.
So is this the part where we fall in love and start dating?
No! I think we should get married right away and have kids!
Suddenly I noticed his boots. They were covered with mud. You know, there's a reason I stay away from boys, and I'm certain you're no different. With that, I walked away. This Parker seemed really full of himself. And to my dismay, I found out a few days later that he was being paired with me as the lead in the school play. But he seemed more disappointed than me.
Ma'am, Can't we choose someone else to play the heroine's part?
What's your problem? Why are you trying to get me out of the play?
Because I don't want to play the part with a girl who's allergic to boys. We'll have no chemistry.
I don't have to like you to be good at acting. I can fake chemistry.
There's a kissing scene. You sure you're up for it?
Yeah, I'm a professional and we don't need to practice it. We can just do it on the day of the play.
Fine by me. I'm an expert anyway.
We started rehearsing soon with Lily as my understudy, but her main role seemed to be flirting with Parker. And he was just as annoying as any boy I'd ever met. He was late for rehearsals, he was always eating on set and making a mess, and he had to take 100 breaks. But I had to admit he was a good actor and was perfect for the part. A few days later, we were doing a dress rehearsal, and soon after wearing my costume, my back really started to itch. I somehow made it through my part and then rushed to the dressing room. I looked at my back in the mirror at the huge, ugly burn mark I've had since I've been in an accident when I was 8 years old. The costume's material had really irritated my scar, and it was all red and itchy. I took a picture in the mirror to send to my skin doctor and then quickly changed into my clothes. But as I picked up my phone again, I realized that I'd sent the picture to freaking Parker. Oh my God! Feeling panicked, I texted him that I sent the picture by mistake, but he never replied. I just slipped out and headed home, feeling really worried. I was certain that jerk would show it to everyone, especially Lily. But the next day when I went to school, no one was looking at me weirdly or talking about me. No one brought it up at all. Later, I spotted Parker by himself in the hallway and I walked over to him. Hey, listen, thank you for not sharing that picture with anyone. I know I'm an ugly freak.
What picture?
The one I sent you yesterday.
I'm pretty sure you didn't see our chat. No picture here.
He looked up at me and smiled, and I found myself smiling back.
Wow, that's the first time I've seen you smiling. I don't think you should do that. It's not a great look on you.
I just rolled my eyes and walked away. Okay, he wasn't a jerk, but he was still annoying. But it was nice of him to pretend he didn't receive the picture to not embarrass me. When the day of the play finally came, I was super excited. Our performances were going really smoothly. Well, until the kissing scene.
What are you doing? You're supposed to kiss me now?
Yeah, I know that. I'm just getting ready.
It's just a kiss. Kiss me, Skylar.
Fine. I put my hands on his face and my heart was racing as our lips touched. I felt something I'd never felt before, and I was kind of disappointed when he pulled away and started saying his next dialogue. Back at home, Ellie couldn't stop teasing me about the kiss and our chemistry on stage, which I completely denied and slammed the door in her face. But I couldn't stop thinking about the kiss all night. Was I catching feelings for Parker? But the next morning, I forgot all about it when I went down for breakfast and found Mom crying. Mom, what's wrong? What happened?
I'm going to lose the pet house.
It turned out that Mom had taken a big loan a while back from an investment company to keep the pet shop running. But lately, she hadn't been able to make the payments on time. And now the company was demanding that she pay it immediately. And the investment company belonged to Lily's dad.
I'll have to sell the pet house. It's not been doing well for a while, and I'm just not making enough.
But Mom, you love it. Everyone in the neighborhood loves it. It's been around for 30 years. There has to be a way we can save it.
I don't think there is, honey.
I felt really heavy-hearted when I went to school that day. I was sitting alone on the bleachers at recess when suddenly Parker joined me.
What's up with your face today?
And to my horror, I started to cry. I buried my face in my arms as I sobbed, and I felt Parker putting his arm around me.
Hey, what's going on? Do you want to talk about it?
And I found myself telling him everything. When I was done, he handed me his hanky and looked at me.
I might have a solution for your problem.
What? What do you mean?
I guess you don't know that Lily's dad and my dad are business partners. They both own that investment company. I'll talk to my dad today and ask him to make the loan payments easier for you guys. I don't want you to lose that pet shop. It seems like it means a lot to you.
Do you really mean that? Will your dad agree?
He will, I promise.
I was so thrilled that I threw my arms around him in a bear hug. He hugged me too, and we just stayed like that for a while. Parker, did you just smell my hair?
What? No, I didn't.
Why are you helping me?
Because I'm not a jerk.
Is that all?
Yeah, don't worry. I wouldn't fall for someone who's decided to hate boys for all eternity.
Well, maybe I don't hate you. Parker's face suddenly lit up, and he drew me close and kissed me, and it felt amazing. True to his word, Parker talked to his dad, and Mom was ecstatic when the company told her they changed their decision. And Parker and I, well, much to everyone's surprise and Lily's anger, we started dating. I couldn't believe I had a boyfriend. Prom came around a few months later, and when Ellie and I reached school, I spotted Parker from afar looking so cute. I walked up to him and was about to kiss him when he suddenly stopped me.
Hey, Skylar, wait, there's something I need to talk to you about.
Okay, why the serious face? He led me out of the hall and then he spoke.
Listen, I hate that I'm ruining prom for you, but I just have to tell you now our company is facing some losses and Lily's dad is insisting that we collect all outstanding loans, so I'm afraid your mom will have to make the full payment very soon. I am so sorry.
I felt the ground slip beneath my feet. Are you kidding me? You promised, and now you're just breaking it just like that.
It's not my decision, Skylar. I don't own the company.
Then maybe it wasn't your promise to make either. Did you just do it to get together with me? To win me over, and you never really meant it?
What are you talking about? Of course, I meant it. I tried to help you. Can't you at least see that?
No, all I can see is that you gave us false hope. I would have been better if you hadn't. Why is everyone so disappointing?
Well, maybe your standards are too freaking high.
Well, maybe I'm just better off alone. I stormed out of there in angry tears. I'd made a mistake believing a stupid boy, and even a bigger mistake of falling for him. High school had come to an end, and Ellie and I helped Mom pack up the shop over the summer. It broke our hearts to lose it, but there was nothing we could do. One day, as Ellie and I were going back home, we walked past a cafe where I spotted several kids from school, including Parker and Lily, and she was clinging onto his arm. Ellie saw my face and said,
You don't know they're together, Skylar.
I'm pretty be sure that they are, and I really don't care. I went off to university to study drama and theater, and I was having an amazing time. I made loads of cool friends, yes, even guys, and I realized I've been foolishly stubborn to think they were all bad. Sometimes I even regret it being so hard on Parker and driving him away. He was just a high school kid like me back then, and it wasn't his fault that we lost our pet shop. Soon after graduation, I went back home to attend Ellie's wedding. Her husband seemed a lot more sensible than Dad, and she seemed really happy, and I was happy for them. Later that night, someone rang the doorbell, and I was shocked when I opened the door.
Hello, Skylar.
Standing outside was Parker. Hi, what are you doing here?
I've been in touch with Ellie. She said you were coming back for her wedding. I really wanted to talk to you.
I stepped out onto the porch, and he said something completely unexpected.
You know, I never forgot about that burn scar on your back.
My scar? That's what you want to talk about?
Yeah, I've never stopped thinking about how you saw yourself with it, or how painful it must be for you. I found an amazing skin surgeon, and he can fix it, Skylar. And if you agree to go for it, I'd like to pay for the surgery.
But why are you doing this?
I swear I'm only doing it as a friend. I know I let you down all those years ago, and now that I can make some decisions on my own, I want to do this.
I stopped being mad at you a long time ago, Parker. You don't have to do this.
I want to. Please don't say no.
After a lot of thinking, I agreed. I underwent the surgery a week later, and when I woke up, Parker was by my side, smiling.
The doctor said it went great.
I can't thank you enough, Parker. I really owe you.
No, you don't. Well, I'll accept a cup of coffee.
It's a date?
Is it?
Maybe. I sat up in bed and pulled Parker towards me in a hug.
Hi, I'm Wednesday from Scotland, and this is my wacky Halloween story. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. I had an awesome childhood. My dad loved me to pieces. I never got stuck in one hobby for too long because he was always willing to pay for the best classes and gear. Life was good, but there was one problem. My dad ran a funeral home and the other kids at school thought I was a total creep and a freak.
I heard Dracula buys his beds from Wednesday.
Is that why you're so weird? Are you like possessed or something?
Nah, but it looks like you're being controlled by my cat's poop. And all those thoughts made it so I didn't have any friends. But when I was in 10th grade, a crazy twist changed my life completely. My dad's sister, Aunt Mary, came to live with us. And she was the most fabulous-looking woman I'd ever seen. She had a daughter my age, and I was super excited because I thought I was finally gonna get my first friend. But she took one look at me and wrinkled her nose like I was cat poop.
What are you wearing? You look poor.
Unfortunately, Enid instantly became the most popular girl in school. And just like that, my chance was over. It was weird that nobody cared she also lived in the house with a funeral home in the basement. Aunt Mary was a famous fashion influencer on social media, so Enid thought she was qualified to rate people's outfits every day at school.
572. Minus.
Who made you fashion police?
You should be arrested for that crime against fashion.
I walked past her barking and went to dance class. But when I got back to the girls' locker room, my clothes were gone. Turns out Enid snuck in, stole them, and was about to throw them on the grill.
Trust me, I'm doing you a favor.
And she started turning on the grill. You've gone too far, you witch! I tackled her to the ground and pulled her hair. We fought like cats till the teachers pulled us apart and took us to the principal's office, where we were given 2 weeks of detention. At home, Aunt Mary blamed me for everything.
It's not your fault, Gomez. This is what happens to motherless girls.
I tried to make up for that mistake.
By spoiling her rotten. She's really impulsive and can't stick to one hobby. The house is filled with stuff she's only used once. It's probably worth a fortune, and she doesn't appreciate any of it. That's why she's starting fights with Enid, who was just trying to help.
Maybe you're right. But what should I do? I was really stressed running the funeral home.
But I'm here now. I'll take care of everything.
Thank you, Mary. Here, buy whatever you need.
I couldn't believe he gave Aunt Mary all the money my family had. Did he think something was wrong with me too?
Your dynasty has fallen, little princess. Now Mom and I are the queens here.
No, Dad loves me and he'll see right through you two. In reality, Dad seemed blind to everything. Things at home just got worse. I came home one day to find all my things boxed up in the living room.
The room was way too big for you. It was really a waste, so I decided to turn it into a closet space.
What the heck? So tonight I have to fight for a spot to sleep with my cat?
Our basement still has plenty of space.
Dad won't allow this. You've overstayed your welcome, Aunt Mary. I'll have him kick you out of the house. But instead, Dad accused me of being selfish and not welcoming aunt and cousin like I should have. I was completely heartbroken. It made me wish Mom was here right now. Things were already grim at home. But a week later, I was rushing to the cafeteria to get the last slice of pizza when a boy beat me to it. Hey, you must be new here? That's actually mine. The lunch lady must have forgotten to leave a note.
It's probably on another slice.
What a jerk! I had to settle for a gross sandwich. Ugh! The pizza thief's name was Tyler, and he had recently transferred from New York. He was super rich, but I suspected he was some kind of robot because the dude never changed his expression. But the girls were going crazy over his good looks.
His style is on point. He's so mysterious and dashing.
I mean, yeah, he was cute, but the guy hardly ever said 2 words. A few days before Halloween, Enid announced she was throwing a party and that there would be a prize for the best costume. I was planning on staying in my dusty, spider-infested attic bedroom, but then I heard Tyler would be there, so I spent hours coming up with the perfect outfit. But when I finally came out of my closet, I got the biggest shock. The party didn't have a horror theme at all. Everyone was dressed up like models and the Kardashians. I looked totally out of place.
Oh my god! Wednesday came dressed as the ghost that's possessing her.
It's Vampire F to Werewolf, you idiot.
Oh, what a lame outfit.
Yeah, you'd know all about lame since you threw a lame party. What a snooze fest.
Do you think you can do better, freak?
You wouldn't know an awesome Halloween party if it bit you on the butt. Where are the bats, the witches, the skeletons? Where's the scary stuff?
We're not crazy like you, and I throw classy parties, but I'm not scared of anything.
Oh, I think you are. If you're so brave, spend 2 hours at the Roslin Mansion with me. First one to come out crying will be the other's personal assistant for a month.
What's the Roslin Mansion?
I jumped in surprise. Tyler was so close. I could feel his eyes on me, and it made my heart flutter in my chest.
It's the most haunted place in Scotland. It was abandoned years ago after the place burned down in a freak fire.
Sounds cool.
I was terrified of the place, and I was sure Enid was going to chicken out. But to my shock, she said,
"You're on!"
Everyone got to the Roslin Mansion, and my heart sank into my belly. The place was spookier at night. Tyler was going to time the dare, and the others waited around making bets on who would win.
This is where you can live, once Mom and I have you kicked out.
She was trying to get in my head. I hated her so much. I walked to the house on jelly legs, imagining all sorts of horrors inside. I stood in the front hall, my heart hammering in my throat. The whole place was creepy, windy, and cold. Goosebumps broke out on my skin. Suddenly, Enid pushed me right then.
Go on upstairs. You wanted an adventure.
Shut up, Enid. Let's just stand in one place for 2 hours.
I thought you wanted a spooky Halloween. Go find a ghost boyfriend or something. You won't ever get a live boy to date anyway.
What is your problem? Why are you so mean to me?
Because you're a walking eyesore. Nobody wants you at home. Uncle only gave you everything because he feels sorry that your mom left you. Just get lost already.
You are the worst, Enid. You can't treat people like this.
Don't tell me what to do.
Don't push me. Suddenly, we heard a deep voice behind us.
1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. 3, 4, better lock your door. 5, 6, grab your crucifix. 7, 8, gonna stay up late. 9, 10, never sleep again.
I jumped out of my skin in fright, and Enid ran out of the house screaming like a banshee. But there was no monster. The ghost of my imagination was a homeless man with a koala nose. You scared the living daylights out of me, and you made Enid nearly pee her pants on the way out.
My apologies. You live at that funeral home, right?
Dude, you live in a haunted house. You don't get to judge.
Oh, no. I see you around town. I hear your aunt moved in with you. What's she like? Does she have a lot of money? Did she buy you this awesome costume?
Okay, you're officially freaking me out. If you don't want me to call the cops, you better buzz off. The homeless man left me alone, and 2 hours later I walked out of the mansion in triumph. Enid's face was scrunched up as if someone had farted under her nose.
That was cool. You're very brave.
School life changed completely. Now I was the popular girl, and Enid was my personal assistant. And it was awesome. I made her cut all my sandwiches into small pieces so I could eat it with a fork. I made her do all of my homework in disappearing ink, then made her do it again. And I even suggested that my pets poop a lot to give Enid more work. I had her running errands around campus in a dog costume. It was hilarious. But when I asked her to clean out my locker, she put her foot down.
No, absolutely not. I'm wearing vintage Chanel.
Then wear this hoodie. It's Walmart.
You're taking things too far. This is just cruel. I quit.
Maybe I had taken things a bit too far, but I wasn't sorry. One day on my way home, I saw the homeless man from the mansion snooping around our street. I chased him to the park, but he got away from me. But when I turned back to go home, I saw the most amazing thing. Tyler was rolling around on the grass with a cute puppy licking his face, and he was laughing. The sight set butterflies loose in my stomach. The dog playfully ripped the hoodie he was wearing, and it fell right off. Oh my God! But as soon as he saw me, his expression became robotic again.
What the heck?
Is this your dog?
Yeah, his name is Bruce.
Cool. Oh, good dog. Bruce was such a lovable puppy. I rubbed his belly, but then Tyler said it was time to go. But before he did, he picked the grass from my hair. His face was close, and I could see just how green his eyes were and then he just left. He was super weird, but really cute. The next day at school, he brought me a whole pizza for lunch. Hey, thanks. What are you doing today? Maybe you and Bruce can come over after school?
Sure, I think he really likes you.
Only him, or... He didn't answer. He turned around, face expressionless, and walked away. I was thinking about why he was the way he was when someone knocked my pizza to the floor.
You don't need the extra carbs. What kind of witch magic have you done on Tyler?
It's called human decency. You wouldn't know anything about it.
No way is someone as cool as him into a loser like you. You're definitely up to something, and I'll get to the bottom of it.
I ignored her. I hated going home these days, but I was looking forward to Tyler coming over with Bruce. We played with Bruce in the garden, and Tyler became a completely different person. I felt my heart beating fast when he looked at me. What's your deal? You're like RoboCop with the rest of us. And with Bruce, you finally start acting human.
I'm not good at making friends with humans. They lie and cheat. Animals are loyal, and they don't want a lot from you.
I know what you mean. I've never had friends either.
I thought you were popular in school. People hang out with you all the time.
Yeah, but they're not my friends. They still call me a freak behind my back because my dad runs a funeral home.
What's wrong with that?
I know, right? You're pretty cool, Tyler.
Call me Ty.
And he came closer when suddenly lights blinded me, and we were surrounded by the police.
Hands up!
What the heck is going on? I watched in horror as the police went inside the house and pulled Enid and Aunt Mary out. They were struggling and screaming and cursing their heads off. And Dad was coming behind them looking confused. Then a man in a suit walked over, and I recognized him. He was the homeless man.
Special Agent Curry, we've been following these criminals across 3 states.
Criminals? You must be mistaken. This is my sister and my niece.
Also known as Sticky Fingers Mary and Dastardly Enid. They have stolen from several banks and rich men, and I have a warrant for their arrest.
You'll never find the money. Never!
All of a sudden, Bruce jumped forward and dug his teeth inside Aunt Mary's fur coat.
Heck, let go, you dirty mutt!
But the coat ripped and money started pouring out of its lining.
I can't go to jail, Mommy. I'm too pretty to go to jail.
Dad was shocked. He turned to me looking completely confused.
What have I done? I trusted them completely.
I was still mad at Dad for trusting Aunt Mary over me. But he didn't deserve to go under a mountain of debt because of all the money they'd probably spent or stolen. We'll be fine, Dad. I'm sure Agent Curry can talk to the banks and we can get our money back.
I don't care about the money. I let them treat you horribly because they convinced me you were spoiled. Can you ever forgive me?
Of course I can, Dad. I love you the most. I hugged him tight. I finally had my home and my dad back. Life was going back to normal. Bruce barked, and I saw Tyler standing at the edge of the garden. Well, better than normal.
You were awesome, boy! Who's a clever dog? You're a clever dog?
I trained him, you know.
Then I owe you my eternal thanks. So I leaned up and kissed him, and he kissed me back, and it was perfect. So I learned that crime doesn't pay. Tell us about your most hilarious Halloween costumes in the comments. Hi friends, my name is Lara and I live in Portugal. Please like and subscribe. I was raised by a single mom who loved me to bits. When I was very young, Mom had to work really hard to put food on the table. She worked as a cashier, a housekeeper, and even a delivery driver. Even though her jobs were stressful, she used her free time to study and train. Before anyone knew it, she became a firefighter, and everyone was totally blown away. I was so proud of her. But growing up, I'd see other kids with big families. Dads, sisters, aunts, uncles, grandparents, and cousins. I'd feel sad and kind of jealous. I kept asking my mom about it nonstop. But whenever I asked her, Mom would say,
I used to have a sister, but then she went on a trip to Mars and I hope she stays there forever.
Well, I believed her for a while until I understood she was just kidding. But still, I wished for a family. But Mom made sure we were both enough. She'd skateboard with me while we were out getting groceries. She'd have tea parties with me and would even let me give her a makeover because Mom was a total goofball. I was too. I'd cosplay as a ninja, run around the cafeteria, danced in the assembly and whatnot. One time I was at school and the class was just not ending, so I pulled a saxophone out of my backpack and just blew it as hard as I could.
Who did this?
Teacher, we have no idea. I knew no one would answer. Everyone was probably just as bored as I was. But I couldn't control my giggles, and she knew it was me and instantly gave me a detention. It wasn't my first time, but seeing Bruno, the hottest and most arrogant boy of the school there, made it totally worthwhile. Hey Bruno, what brings you to my kingdom? The guy just gave me a look and rolled his eyes. Such a diva. Come on, tell me what happened. Okay, fine. Let me guess. You started a food fight. No, I've never seen you in the cafeteria. Okay, you pranked some teacher. No, you're just too much into your studies. So you hit someone? No, that can't be it. That's because you're just way too sophisticated to touch someone else.
Oh my god, can you stop mouth farting for just 1 second? I don't want to have to wear my mask on my ears.
Oh, so that's exactly why I'm gonna keep doing it. What brings you to my kingdom? Come on, spill the tea. Okay, fine, let me guess.
Fine, I'll tell you, but just keep it to yourself. I'm here because...
What?
I'm here because...
I can't hear you.
I'm here because I got an F and lost it. Tore the paper in the teacher's face. And I was just so angry and nothing made it.
Bruno seemed to be having a panic attack. And I did the only thing that I thought would help. I hugged him and rubbed his back. Hey, breathe, dude. Just breathe slowly. I've been in worse situations, okay? I'm just saying that to make you feel better. But still, detention is like a second home to me. It worked, and he chuckled.
You are one crazy chick.
I've been told that before. The next day at lunch, I was sitting with my friends and Bruno came. And everyone looked at him like he was some alien, but not me. Sure, you can sit here. Wait, Sonny, can you give up your seat for this kid? Come on, friend.
Friend? Thanks. I like that.
After that day, Bruno and my friendship only grew, and we became best friends. Everyone thought he was a snob, but Bruno was just the quiet type. He was one in a million. By the time I was in 8th grade, I started thinking his smile was really cute. Wait, did I have a crush on Bruno? No way. It's probably just that best friend of the opposite gender feeling. But when we returned to school after summer vacation, I wanted to start off the new year with something special. So I gave Bruno a chocolate bar.
Geez, thanks.
And after just one bite, his face turned red.
What the heck did you put in this?
Looks like I went a little overboard with the chili powder.
I'll get you for this!
Saying that, Bruno chased after me, but someone came in front of me. I skidded to the side and then crashed on the floor. And then I saw Bruno and a girl looking at me.
Are you okay? Please tell me that you're all right.
Lara, you almost gave me a heart attack. Tell me you're okay.
Yeah, I feel fine. Bruno and the girl helped me up. And then she told me that her name was Valerie, and she had just moved into the town. Amazingly, she was with Bruno and me in our class. Pretty soon, Valerie, Bruno, and I became a team. We did everything together. We'd study together and even go out together. All 3 of us even joined the cheerleading squad together. One time, all 3 of us went out for a movie, and while Bruno was in line getting us popcorn that was slower than a snail at a snail funeral, the only thing I focused on was how handsome Bruno was.
Why don't you tell him how you feel, huh?
What?
Come on, it's all over your face. Just tell him.
Right then I saw Bruno coming and Valerie started giggling.
Did I miss something?
No, Lara wants to tell you something. Something very important.
Yeah, I did. I just totally forgot to tell you what a cute little girl you look like in that pink t-shirt. Seriously, dude?
You bought it for me, so thanks, I guess. So that was it.
Come on, the movie's starting. Let's go. Gosh, I could never tell Bruno that I liked him. Like, in a different way. When we finally had our summer vacations, Bruno went to his grandma's in Florida, and I missed him a lot. But thank God I had Valerie now. She once invited me to her home, and I was literally shocked to see how big it was. Whoa, Valerie, you're rich!
Yeah, my mom actually won the lottery before I was born. Can you believe it? It's so crazy!
Wow, lucky you! Valerie's mom was so nice, and I was having an amazing time with them. A few days later, there was a carnival in our town, and we both met there in the evening. Mom was running late, so while Valerie's mom sat, we both went to the Ferris wheel ride. We were having so much fun, and then heard noises and looked down. I was shocked to see Mom arguing with Valerie's mom.
Don't tell me where to live and where not to. I can do whatever I want.
Oh yeah? Like steal more things? You stole from your own sister? I won that lottery and you stole the ticket and just vanished. And now you have the guts to show your face after all these years?
What the heck? Valerie's mom was my mom's sister. Before Valerie and I could say anything, both of our moms grabbed our hands and left. I didn't get to talk to Valerie for the rest of the summer vacation. But when we went back to school, I really wanted to sort things out. After all, she was my cousin. But the moment I said hi to her, she blew me off.
Stay away from me! I don't ever want to talk to you! Your mom called my mom a thief!
Okay, that really pissed me off. Don't be a jerk. The big house you were flaunting that day, it's all thanks to my mom. The fact remains the same. Your mom is a thief. Hearing this, she pushed me hard and I landed in the dustbin.
Stay there or I swear I'll ruin you! You know what? I'll tell Bruno you have a crush on him. No! On second thought, I'll make sure that he hates you. Watch me destroy you!
What did she think I was? A coward! I jumped and grabbed her hair, and before we knew it, we were both in a catfight. We were later taken to the principal's office, and both of our moms were called, and it turned into a battleground. I had never seen this side of my mom, and it just made me realize her sister hurt her bad. After that day, things got tough. Valerie would always pick on me, and I would always retaliate. It seemed she was a totally different person. One time we were in art class, and I was minding my own business when Valerie came and started telling me how bad my painting was. Like I ever needed her approval. I was so done with her, so I pushed her just a little. But the girl landed on her painting, knocking out all of the paints from the table, in a really dramatic way. And then she literally started screaming like a banshee.
Ouch! My foot! Lara, why would you do that? I told you I'm sorry for everything. And still...
OMG, what a liar! The teacher and all the kids in the class gathered around us, and Valerie kept on with her fake crying. Shut up, Valerie, or else I'll...
Stop it, you two! Lara, what has gotten into you?
I couldn't believe Bruno was on her side. I told him she was faking it. But Valerie cried harder, and Bruno looked so concerned about her, ignoring me. He picked up Valerie, took her out of the class while I was sent to the principal's office, and I got detention. When it was time to go home, Bruno came to see me and kept telling me how I had hurt Valerie. I wished he wasn't that blind. For God's sake, she's faking it! Bruno, you have to choose. It's either me or Valerie.
Lara, you're both my friends. I just can't choose.
Whoa! Oh, I see. Well, fine. I couldn't believe this. I pushed him out of the way and ran home. That was the worst day of my life. Bruno tried to talk to me at school. He called me and texted me so many times. He even visited me at home. But I didn't want to see him because I was just so angry. I even stopped talking to my friends and would eat lunch in the classroom alone. I just couldn't see Valerie and Bruno sitting together, and the way she gave me those wicked smirks. I hated her so much, but I channeled all of my attention into my studies, and sometimes even the teachers would ask me to crack a joke or something, saying they missed the goofy old Lara. But that Lara, well, she was gone. After 9th grade, I switched schools and cut off all ties with my friends. From there, I wanted to start new, and I was going to do well in my new school. I got into competitive cheerleading, and one time in high school, we had a competition. And after the first routine, I spotted Bruno backstage. The moment our eyes met, I tripped and scraped my knee. At once, Bruno came running to me and helped me out. And then he brought out a bandage to put it on the little scrape. He still cared for me like he used to. He had just gotten even more handsome.
It's good. Now you'll survive the next round, so, how have you been?
Without even answering, I got up to leave, but he held my hand.
Aw, Lara, I've missed you so much. I am so sorry. I tried contacting you, but you shut me out. I had been meaning to tell you how I felt. Then everything got crazy. But just hear me out, please.
Gosh, I had missed him too, like crazy in these 2 years. But when I was about to say something, I heard an ugly voice.
Come on, Bruno, it's our routine. Oh, a blast from the past. I see you're still a clumsy little thing.
Oh, I see that you're still a little witch. I was determined to win the competition because I knew what it meant to Valerie. So I put my all into these routines. When Valerie's team performed, their performance was all glitz and glamour, with fireworks at the end. So extra. When we were all called onto the stage for the results, it turned out Valerie and my team had a tie, and we had to share the trophy.
Heck, no way, this trophy is mine.
Not on my watch! Just then, I let go of the trophy, and Valerie went crashing backwards. She totally deserved it. All of a sudden, there was smoke, and someone screamed fire. It turned out the stupid fireworks Valerie and her team did at the end of the routine caused a fire. It was panic and chaos all over. The entire hall had been emptied, but while running to the exit, I realized Valerie was still there where she had fallen. I just couldn't leave her. Valerie, where are you?
Lara, I'm here. I'm stuck.
Just when I moved forward to look for her, someone grabbed me and dragged me out of the hall. It was Bruno. Oh my God, Valerie's still in there. Someone's got to help her. Bruno, we've got to go back in there.
Oh no, Valerie, someone please get my baby out of there? Please.
The fire was blazing and I felt my heart sink. But then Mom came to my aunt.
Don't worry, I'll get her. Don't you dare lose hope. Everyone stay back.
Mom went inside, and each minute felt like 1,000 years. I was so worried. Seeing my aunt cry, I went and sat by her side, and she instantly hugged me.
I'm so sorry, honey. I'm so sorry for everything. I hurt your mom because of what I did. Your and Valerie's friendship suffered. I'm so sorry for everything. I just hope my Valerie will be all right.
At that moment, I regretted each and every mean word I'd ever said to Valerie. All the drama, all the fights, none of that mattered right now. The only thing that mattered was family. And just then, I saw Mom coming out of the hall. She was carrying Valerie in her arms.
Thank God they were both safe!
All of a sudden, there were cheers and happy tears, and we all hugged. Me, Mom, Valerie, and my aunt. We all hugged like there was no tomorrow. After we were given first aid, Bruno and I sat on a bench and watched as Mom and my aunt patched things up. They were all in tears after my aunt thanked and apologized so much. It seemed Mom was willing to give her another chance.
You gotta admit, you have one really dramatic family.
Says the boy who blew his own fuse getting an F. Yep, I still remember that. By the way, what were you saying earlier? Something you wanted to tell me?
Oh, that was nothing. I mean, it was something like,
Oh my gosh, Lara. Bruno likes you a lot. And Lara likes you too. Sorry, guys. I had to. You guys would have taken forever.
I just shook my head and laughed and then looked into Bruno's eyes. We kissed for the first time and it was perfect.